One time, there were lots of us. But that was all before there was any webs. Now, I can't find anybody. My name is Munch, and I've been singing for him ever since. But nobody sings back. Until last night. My loneliness was over. I found somebody. Then it happened. It wasn't a gabbard. It wasn't a gabbard at all. Who could do such a thing? Well, I was about to find out. Then what happened?
They took him away to Vikers labs.
Oh, Vikers labs? Poor little schmuck.
So you see, Stitch Lips, if you want to find your brothers, you've got to rescue Munch from Vikers labs.
Oh,
Yeah, but how?
I don't know. You got me.
Find the big well, and then...
Yeah, great. Let's go, guys. We're out of here.
Oh, I could never get what I need. This is too much stress and pressure.
Hello everybody on YouTube, this is Super Nintendo and welcome to my new Let's Play of Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. A very different type of Oddworld game compared to every other game that I have done before. No longer are we in a 2D side-scroller. Now, we are in the third dimension. And the almighty Raisin speaks. If Abe is ever to find Munch, he must find his Mudakin friends and bring them to the big well. To use story stones and other objects, stand in front of the arrows and press B. I am playing the Nintendo Switch version. For those of you who think that this game looks a little on the bright side, I can't help that. That's how the Switch version is. I was going to Let's Play the version on the PS3, but, well, you guys know how hard it is to record stuff on the PS3.
Hey, Abe, the almighty Raisin has sent me to help you. So listen up. If you're ever to find that one-legged Munch, you've got to learn how to get around, starting with this cave right here, right now. See ya.
The Shaman Circle. We can hear the Shaman's thing again, and these are spoosh shrubs. These are how you use the possession ability in this game. And they are also gate abilities. We are able to run by holding down the Y button, in the original game, there was no run button. You just had to move the control stick. For whatever reason, the Switch version has a run button, and I don't get it. But the Switch version also has the ability to change the movement speeds. So if you think this default speed is a little on the slow side, then you can change it if you want. I'm going to be having it as the default because I feel like the amount that you have normally is a little... How do I... There we go. Is a little too fast, and it kind of breaks the game, so there's that. Let the spruce shrub guide you. The spruce shrubs will often lead you to goodies. We can talk with our friends and have them do useful stuff for us.
Okay, little elbow grease, guys.
Whatever.
Like open gates.
Hey, you managed to get out of the cave. Wow, so impressive. Okay, listen up. Find your lazy Mudokan friends and lead them to the entrance of the big well. Let the spruce shrubs be your guide and heed the wisdom of the story stones. Now get your blue button gear.
So, something I would like to kind of point out, now that we've seen the shaman and these Mudokan guys here, in a interview in 2019, I want to say, with Cat Icarus and the limitless, luscious Lorne Lanning, it's revealed that the Mudokons are actually descended from birds, and this is why their arms kind of look like bird wings without the feathers and stuff. But you can also see in Munch's Odyssey that the Mudokons, they have feathers. But for some reason, Abe doesn't. It seems a little on the,
Don't you worry.
Yeah, whatever.
on the weird side. I never really understood why Abe doesn't have feathers, even though they clearly could have feathers in this game. Even in New and Tasty, they opt for Abe having this this sock-like thing on his head. They said that the reason for him having the sock-looking thing was actually because of graphics limitations on the original Abe's Odyssey on the PS1. But by Munch's Odyssey, they could have had it be feathers, and they just choose not to for whatever reason. Maybe they thought that his look was too cemented by this point. I'm not sure.
Hey,
But-
what's happening?
Hey, what's happening, Abe?
Now that we are a little deeper into this, I would kind of like to tell a little bit of a story. As far as, like, my first introduction to this game. So, my introduction to Munch's Odyssey,
Hey, what's happening, Abe?
I had a cousin who came around Christmas time or so from, like, several states over. And he had an Xbox.
You may notice that if one of your friends passes on, you can bring them back to life by giving spoofs to this resurrection totem.
Thanks, Shaman. I don't know what you said because there's no subtitles, but My cousin had an Xbox, and he would bring this game, and I was only about 5 or so I didn't really do very good on this game, unfortunately. But I did really love Oddworld, and so I would play this game all the time whenever he would come to visit and brought his Xbox and stuff like this. And, like, I thought that was pretty cool. All the way back in the distant year of 2001. Currently, as I'm recording this, it is October of 2024. 23 years ago. God damn, I feel so old. So, the fart button in this particular game doesn't really have much of a purpose, unfortunately. But it's still neat that it's here, because, you know, having the ability to fart adds much needed levity whenever the player wants it. In terms of, like, when I first managed to beat this game, though, like, I wasn't able to beat this game until I was much older.
I'll be back.
I didn't beat this game until I was much older. I got to play this game. When was it? I bought an original Xbox off my aunt.
Just sit tight.
And I managed to get myself an original Xbox copy of this game. And I didn't get to beat it until then. I don't remember the reason why, but I did eventually sell the Xbox, and I really wish I didn't do that.
Hey, what's happening, Ed?
Looking back, like, I really wish I didn't do it. I think the logic was that I didn't have room to just place it anywhere, or
Okay, listen up.
there wasn't a whole lot of games for me to play, so there wasn't much point or something, but I don't know. Is this all the muds? So, in terms of this game compared to the previous games, this game is much longer than Abe's Odyssey and Abe's Exodus. But it also just
You better stay here.
isn't as good in my opinion, and I will definitely give my thoughts on that as we go on.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
give my thoughts on the game as we go on and whatnot, but honestly, looking back at this particular game, like, I understand that they definitely wanted to take the Oddworld series in a new direction, try something new, be a bit more experimentative.
Almost there, Raby. Now be careful, because slick security forces have occupied the lands around the big well. Rich mineral deposits, you know. Are you gonna let a murderous slig and a pack of wild sloths stand between you and a big well? Are you, huh?
Be a bit more experimentative with the series. But I feel like, in many ways, Munch's Odyssey kind of really wasn't that great. But at the same time, though, it was like the early 2000s. And this was the first 3D game in the series.
Just sit tight, be cool.
Hey, Stitch Lips. Now, you gotta get through that slog run. Don't worry about your buddies. I'll help them catch up to you later. Just get to the tunnel that leads to the big well. Got a boogie?
Boing. So, something that is a little weird in this particular game is this game gives you brews that you gotta eat, and for some reason the brews in the Switch version don't always work, specifically the espresso one, and I don't get why. I don't get why the espresso one doesn't work the way it's supposed to. The espresso one is supposed to make you run super fast so you can avoid hazardous enemies like the slogs. Sometimes it'll work. Like now, this is how it's supposed to work. But sometimes it doesn't work, and I do not understand why. But at least it worked that time, and we were still able to do what we needed to do.
Nice running, Abe. You made it. Now you'll find the big well on the other side of this tunnel. Which reminds me, I wonder how Munch is doing.
But do you stop to think why I'm sticking sonar in its head?
Sonar?
Think of all those long nights. Us pulling critters out of cages. And finding them takes ages. What's that got to do with you? Just shut up! Look, you and I spend what? 20 hours each week catching critters? That's 20 hours a week we could be researching more addictive nicotines, sweeteners, baby food additives, sedatives, laxatives. Look, we have traps everywhere, right? And when critters get snagged, the traps send out a sonar beacon, right? Then we have to drop whatever we're doing and go out, pick them up, bring them back. But now, with my sonar enhanced cabinet, it finds the traps. It brings the critters to us. More critters, more research, more moolah. It's flawless.
Humphrey, I apologize. You are a genius! Oh my! I completely forgot! I left a puzzle on the burner!
That's disgusting. And they make such a mess.
Huh? We got to get out of here. Get 'em.
God damn, these puzzles are scary. They also don't look all that good in this HD version of the game. I say with like a lot of like hesitancy on that. Alright, we got all of you guys. So, the fuzzles. These are supposed to be Munch's equivalent to the Modokans, and so Munch needs to save as many of the fuzzles as he can. I am gonna be going for a 100% playthrough. But, unlike previous Oddworld games, this game actually has 3 endings depending on how many Mudokons and Fuzzles you save. So, because of that, I'm going to be showing all 3 endings at the end of the series. The Fuzzles are a bit harder to deal with because they, unlike the Mudokons, who you saw have a revival method, the Fuzzles don't. If they die, if even one dies, you are not getting the perfect ending. And also, because of the Fuzzles' anatomy,
Munch, get out of here! Save the rest of those Fuzzles and find your way out of Vikers Labs!
excuse me, there might be times where the Fuzzles might lag behind and you need to save them. You need to go back and get them. This is the karma system. The karma is basically your good and bad ending navigator, essentially.
Hey, Munch, you get good karma for rescuing Fuzzles. Save as many of those little fuzzy fellas as you can. The more you leave behind, the worse your karma gets. And trust me, you don't want bad karma.
Because of the nature of this particular game, it would actually be beneficial for you to sometimes do things the long and convoluted way. Instead of sacrificing your Fuzzles to fight these guys, because these guys can kill the Fuzzles, it might actually be more beneficial for you to just kill them this way. Even though it is much slower. And I do mean much slower, especially when there are multiple targets. It would still probably be better if you killed the enemies this way and not risk the Fuzzles getting hurt. And because of how this game operates, there will probably be a lot more cutting in this game than previous Oddworld games. Especially with just the nature of this. Luckily, in this game, death is not even a slap on the wrist, really. It doesn't really serve much of a purpose. You can kind of see it here that, like, even though I died, the Vikers that I killed are still dead, or whatever damage I inflicted on them is still present. So it really doesn't mean anything in this game for whatever reason. Okay. Let's see. We got 20 more Fuzzles left to get. I'll see you guys in a minute after I go back and rescue all the Fuzzles. 18, 19, and 20. Frank, you'll get through the portal too. Alright.
Swim for your life, Munch. Oh, and watch out for those slugs up ahead. Later.
Okay. So something that is kind of broken in this particular game that I don't really get is, for whatever reason, in the Switch version of Munch's Odyssey, the swimming is so much slower than it really should be, and I don't get it. Because in the PS3 original, or I guess it was in the Xbox original, but it was eventually ported to the PS3. And on the PS3, virtually everything was intact. But for whatever reason, on the Switch version, they decided to make some changes. And on the Switch version, they made it so, like, the swimming is so much slower. And I really don't get why. Because, like, there's no reason for it. It's basically about as fast as how Munch walks. And that's not how it's supposed to be. Like, the swimming was supposed to be much faster. Because the swimming was supposed to be, like, Munch was an aquatic animal. So, like, him being in, like, swimming around in the water is supposed to show, like, how he's in his element. Because, you know, he's an aquatic animal. But here it's just super freaking slow, and I don't get why. Also, we need 2 more spooses. There we go. No! You will not eat me. You will not. But yeah, I don't get why they made the changes that they did to the Switch version. It kind of makes the Switch version like the least superior version in my eyes. Like, it's on the most relevant console, I guess, because, like, Munch's Odyssey is not on anything else that I'm aware of, but it's so weird. Like, it looks the worst. It looks the worst out of all the different versions of this game. Because of how bright it is, so you can see how crappy everything looks. Like, the controls are the worst out of all of them. Like, the speed of everything is just not right. And even the speech-to-text thing, as I will probably complain about over the course of this series is not the way that it should be. Because, like, in the original, although all the different speech things were tied to the same 3 buttons, like in Munch's Odyssey, or Abe's Odyssey and Exodus, you could, cycle between... Get over here. You could cycle between primary and secondary things with a button, but here they're both mapped to the same button, and the difference is depending on whether or not you just tap it or hold it. And because the stay here function is tied to the same button as the freaking run button, there are times where I will be trying to run, and instead Abe or Munch will just tell their respective savees, I guess, that they should stay. Also, take advantage of the fact that most enemies in this game can't swim while you can. There's not a whole lot of areas where you can take advantage of that. Makes things die so much quicker. Everything in this game is a freaking damage sponge. Jonathan, you're a bad fuzzle. Get through the portal. Whee! But, yeah. I do feel like the story of this game kind of makes up for a lot of its flaws, but even that at times I have some complaints with, as I am sure I will talk about. Die, Vikers! Get in the water. Or get stuck up against a wall, that works too. Something I really don't get is if the fuzzles are capable of eating through metal, then why can't they just eat through their cages? Like, maybe the cages are electrified or something, but I don't know. There's nothing that seems to indicate that they're petrified. Like electric fence type cages. So, I don't know. Seems a little odd to me, but you know. I'm not from Mudos. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe this metal is toxic to the little fuzzles. Who knows? Boing. Get 60. Oh boy. Alright. I'll see you guys when we have enough spruce shrubs. So now, we just need to book it. We gotta go to the poop chute. Crap. Alright, let's try that again. To the poop chute! Follow me to freedom! To freedom! Okay, I think that will do it for this episode. I was hoping to finish with Munch's section before the end of the video, but we're already pushing 59 minutes. So, next time on Oddworld Munch's Odyssey, hopefully we get out of this place and unite with Abe. Alright? See you guys then.
A 7 a sinking square window!